Hi, I'm Dennis Plummer with ABQ heading home. This morning we had over 100 volunteers out in the fields and all of the underpasses and parks in Albuquerque looking for Albuquerque's most vulnerable. We've been out there today as the weather's begun to change. Tonight we're sending out people to our shelters, and over the next couple of days we have a pretty intense weather pattern moving in. It may actually move to emergency search and response.
Great. And so what kind of feedback did you get, one, from the homeless and two, the volunteers after this morning's survey?
Some homeless people who are experiencing homelessness have already said, we're excited for you to come. We're ready to be interviewed. Make sure you find us. And the volunteers are coming back with really some amazing stories. People have been homeless over 20-some years. And with the weather change, there's a real awareness now of how dangerous that is, as well as just not a just way to live.
So obviously the goal this week is to find the 75 most vulnerable. Kind of sucks to be number 76.
It does, and what we're actually doing, though, is actually moving beyond 75. That's our goal, of people to follow for a year. But if this works, and we believe it will work, we'll continue to keep housing everyone. And we expect this to be a systems change that will house everyone in the streets of Albuquerque.
So what adjustments are you making for the morning survey tomorrow based on some of the input that you got today?
Tomorrow we expect it to run pretty much the same. We have about an 18-hour window before the weather pattern changes. But after that, we'll be strategizing actually tonight in a few moments about possible alterations in the plan.
And with 40 surveys and only a couple of days left to go, how possible is it to really find the 75 most vulnerable?
It's a good question. We really think because of the weather that so many are in the shelters. We know there are about 300 probably at the west side, nearly that many at Joy Junction. We have 75 over at Albuquerque Opportunity Center. We're going into the hospitals tonight, also the jails, Turquoise Lodge, and we know there are hundreds of people yet to be interviewed.
And the idea here, too, is to kind of save taxpayers money, because the 75 most vulnerable are the ones that are the repeat down and outs that rescue squads and emergency rooms have to deal with.
Right. We're really looking at what we call the smart way to do the right thing. And the smart part of that is actually the taxpayer's dollar. The right thing is, this is the kind of community we want to live in. It's humane, that houses our needy brothers and sisters in the street.
And so America has a pretty extensive history with homelessness. And there's been a mind shift recently from managing homelessness to perhaps ending it. Is that a realistic goal?
It is. We know it's solvable. In fact, at a national level, an interagency report has been issued in June of 2010 that shows that ending homelessness is possible. We want to move to managing housing, not managing homelessness.
Could weather impact your program this week?
If it does, it could perhaps delay it. There are so many volunteers, amazing volunteers right now in Albuquerque that we can pick up next week and still interview in the brightest of sunshine.
Great. So as you were planning this event, what did you set as some goals that would demonstrate success?
What we decided, the number 75 is rather arbitrary, as you mentioned. What we've decided to do, set as goals, is to measure just the first 75, even though we'll hopefully house more, and measure their sustained housing over the next 12 months, and really identifying their improvement in treatment outcomes, as well as health outcomes, and especially housing outcomes.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Plummer, today, reporting live from the Albuquerque Dean Home Headquarters, Peter St. Cyr.
Great, thank you.